Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning back in. Glad you could make it. Hope you guys are doing good. Listen, today we're talking about why you should almost never take dating advice from a woman. And listen, I say almost never because there are some women out there that can give great dating advice as men. Great dating advice that you can take and that you can actually learn. And there are a couple. One that I really almost always bring up is going to be the woman that runs the Happy Wife School channel on here on YouTube. Um, she's got a lot of really good information, And another one, I think her first name is Lauren. I forget her last name, uh, but she's another really good one. Here's the thing. Here's the thing that really sets and this is the thing that really sets them up, or it sets them apart from the other women, is that they have done the research. They've actually looked into what things, or excuse me, how things happen, why they happen, and how often they happen. Right? So, the woman that runs the Happy Wife School, she has had a lot of experience, have done a lot of research, and she's had a mentor that's really pushed her to look within herself as well as her experience and the research. Got three different things all in one that's happening. You can learn a lot. And she did. She learned a lot. She learned what she was doing wrong. She learned her faults. She learned what many women do, most women typically do when they get into a marriage, and there was a lot of self-reflection. There was a lot of accountability. There was a lot of responsibility that she had to take for her own actions, and she did, right. And not only did she begin to fix her life, but she fixed her relationship, her marriage, and through that experience, she's, like I said, she's learned so much. And it's not just on the women's side; it's also on the men's side too, right? That she has really shared with. Now, it's from the female perspective, obviously, because she's a woman. But there's also nuggets of knowledge there that I've also gotten myself from her, right? And I definitely appreciate it because I really did get something from it. So I recommend you guys to go and check out that channel as well, because there is something to learn. However, obviously, the average woman is not going to have that experience. Listen, guys, men and women are different. And I can't believe that we're having this conversation, but it's obvious. It's very obvious. In a society that's trying to make us equal, trying to make us interchangeable through bathrooms. No, but in a society that's trying to make us equal in thoughts, equal in actions, equal in performance, it's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. Obviously, we're different on the very cellular level, right? And so, obviously, men are going to have their own experiences that women can never relate to, and women are going to have the same. So, you never ever want to ask an average woman for any kind of dating advice. Obviously, every woman's going to be different. Now, there are going to be things that women naturally respond to. The thing is that so many women are on contraceptives that it really throws off their very psychology, really. If you think about it, when women are on contraceptives, such as the Plan B or the birth control pill, they're going to have different attractions. Uh, Typically, more of an effeminate man, versus when they are off birth control, they tend to have more of a masculine attraction, to be attracted to more masculine men. And that's natural. That's natural for most women. But the thing is that to know the inner details, the inner intricacies of dating in itself, and what really works, what doesn't, That's something that you're going to have to learn through. This is why I brought up experience. That's something you're going to have to learn through experience, and what works, what doesn't work, right? Now, some women are going to like more aggressive men. Some women are going to want to take more time with things. It just really depends. And typically the women who want to take more time with things are going to be more traditional, more religious. Understandable, right? Because listen, I'm not religious anymore, but I respect it. I respect it. You want to take time, you want to get married and all that stuff. Cool. That's fine. Not my avenue, but you know, the women are different. We know that. They're also crazy. So don't sleep with them. And don't sleep with your back to them. That's the ultimate trust right there. Sleeping your back to a woman. That's either stupidity or that's some of the biggest balls I've ever seen in my life. So, but listen, every woman's different. Okay, every woman's going to respond to things differently. Now, like I was saying, there are some things that most women respond to biologically, and that's masculinity, stoicism, um, and physicality. This is why I tell you guys to get fit. Get fit. Okay. Looks matter. Your face matters. Your body matters. Because ultimately, you're selling yourself. Why? You are the product. You are a product. Why not make your product the best that you can and maintain the best that it can throughout your entire life? There's a reason why a lot of people who are talking about dating as or excuse me, dating in a business term when they use terms such as sexual market value is because when you're dating, you're marketing. That's what you're doing. You're selling a product, right? Why what why should I invest into this relationship? Am I going to get a good return on it? And that's the mindset that you really have to be able to understand just how relationships work to begin with, right? There has to be a return, there has to be an investment. That's just how things work in any aspect of life. So, like I said, experience. Learn what doesn't, what does. Some guys, or excuse me, some guys are funny, and women really love funny guys. Some women love more stoic guys. So some guys who are more quiet, more mysterious. Now women love mystery anyways. That's why they really love to watch CSI. um, or crime shows. In any crime show. But which is really weird to me. Um, but anyways, they love to figure men out specifically, right? And this is why I tell you, learn, 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 learn. The more you learn, the more mysterious you become, right? Because if you know how to draw, you know how to paint, you know how to play guitar, you know how to play drums, you know how to paint miniatures, you know how to make dioramas, you know how to work with wood, you know how to work with metal. There are a lot of things that these women are coming to find out about you, and they're slowly dropped nuggets right here and there. It makes you very interesting, and when you become interesting, you become alluring, right? Add being funny on top of that, add being stoic, strong, capable, looking confident in yourself, looking good, smelling good. I'm telling you, dude, you're not going to have a problem at all. The problem is keeping them off of you. That's the problem, right? And so you can really only get this from older men that you respect who have been through the ringer. And that's just it. It's because they've been through the ringer, they've experimented, they've understood what works, what doesn't. And that's something they can pass down to you. That's something that you really need to look into. right? So look around. If you don't happen to have any guys whom you really look up to and respect, right? And not all married men, not all married men are going to be this kind of guy. You have to understand that. Don't make that mistake, because there's a lot of men who are in marriages who are nowhere near right have figured it out, nowhere near it. So don't get it twisted, guys. Um, but find the guys who know exactly what they're talking about. Well, I mean, maybe not know exactly what they're talking about, but have a pretty good understanding of what women respond to, what they don't respond to. So ultimately, the advice that I can give you is, listen, don't be yourself, but envision the best version of yourself and become that. Because when you imagine the best version of yourself that you absolutely adore and you work to that, you're going to have certain experiences, certain skill sets, certain passions to where you become knowledgeable, interesting, genuine, authentic. And that's what people value above anything else, is experience and genuineness. There's a reason why the 1% of men are so sought after by women specifically, because they have that experience, they have that interest, right? Depending on what they're in, they have the passion too. So is every man going to be 1%er? No. No. You have to be realistic. You have to be absolutely realistic. Not every man's gonna be able to make 6, 7 figures. There's always gonna be a hierarchy. But here is the thing. You can become the best version of yourself. It just takes effort, it takes experience, and it takes determination and ambition. And that's why it's so important for men to find mentors. Absolutely. When I was telling you about friend groups, listen, there's not just a group of buddies that you respect. These guys are also mentors. Find a mentor in a friend. If you can find a mentor in a friend, life is made. So get your own experiences. Learn through your own experiences what works, what doesn't work. Okay? Be interesting. Learn how to be funny. Yes, you can learn how to be funny. Okay? You can learn. When I was in middle school, when I was in high school, I wasn't funny. I'm still not funny. No, I'm actually hilarious. You know, for the guys, you know, if you guys happen to meet me one day, listen, I am pretty funny. Okay, I love comedy. My entire life has always been funny. Um, you know, drugs. I'm kidding. But listen, um, it you want to be interesting, but you want to be genuine. And you also don't want to just get something out of somebody, okay? You want there to be a mutual exchange. Don't just be worried about getting something out of somebody. Selfish, right? Be more focused on sharing. There's a difference between taking and sharing. Because sharing, you're giving and you're taking. Or I would say learning and sharing. Okay? There's a difference. Learning, you're getting something. without return. And that's not always a bad thing. It's not always a bad thing. But the thing is that the difference between learning and sharing is that you're getting something without return, and sharing is you're giving and receiving. And listen, no matter how old we are, no matter how many experiences we've had, there's always something to learn. Just got to take the opportunity. You know, someone once told me that being an opportunist is a bad thing. And it is with hookups. It's a very bad thing with hookups. You don't want to do that. You don't want to think with the wrong head. That's for sure. That I absolutely, that's 100%. You know, some ponds stink. So, um, but listen, it's not always a bad thing. Being an opportunist means that you're very open to new opportunities. And taking opportunities is something that men must do. Because, like I said, you learn through experience. How are you going to learn if you don't get into it? If you don't just go, just start, right? So, you know, if that woman that is kind of glancing at you, right? Stealing glances at you, because that's how women that's how women shoot their shot, right? They'll still glance, they'll still glances at you. They'll look at you and they'll put on a big grin, they'll put on a big smile, they'll wave at you. You know, that's an invitation. That's an invitation, guys. So listen, if they give you that invitation, take it, man. It's only experience, you know? And listen, if you go over there and you stutter and you're nervous and she turns you down, listen, guys, thank you. You have a good day. And you learn from it. You learn from it. Okay? You learn from it. Unless you're hot. Unless you're hot and you got gigantic muscles, you know, you got veins in your biceps, you know, and six-pack abs, you got the V, you're probably not gonna get turned down. Let's just be let's just be real. I wouldn't turn that down, okay? Just come sweep me off my feet. um, but look, we're all gonna be rejected. And this is what I was telling you guys about failure as a concept. Failure is only a failure if you don't learn anything and you don't get back up. The true success is learning from what you failed on and then getting right back up and trying again. As many times as it takes to get to that level. That's true success. So, work on that. And you know, work on vibes. Work on vibes. Understand people. Understand body language. Okay. Someone sits next to you and they're just kind of side eyeing you and kind of, you know, just moving slightly away. Obviously, that's a sign of uncomfortability. If you mention something, oh hey, look, I think your shoes are cool, and they don't respond, obviously they don't want to talk to you. Right. Another sign of someone, or I should say, another sign of a woman wanting to be around you is if she places herself in your presence. That's another really big thing that women love to do, is that they love to just want to be around you, especially if you're an interesting guy. You know, if everyone is laughing at your jokes, if people are coming to you and asking you for advice, if you seem as though you are the life of the party, she's going to place herself in your presence. And that's her essentially waiting on you to take the initiative. So, boys, listen, keep that in mind, all right? And listen, some of them will really ask you some weird questions, man. That's just how women are. They ask weird questions. Like, if you were a potato, would you still love her? I don't. You give me some butter, bro. At least, come on, man. Fuck. um. Anyways, they do this at Christmas. You know, right in front of everybody. It's weird. Uh, not personal experience. Not. Anyways, listen. But they will ask you. You know, how tall are you? How much do you bench press? You know, can you bench press me? That's a very obvious sign. That's very obvious. Um, but yeah, no. Pick up, pick up, pick up on signs, pick up on the vibes, right? And like I said, because I'm going on way too long, I like to rant. Um, you can only get this information really from older men who have been through the ringer a couple times, who can who understand women, right, and who can give you, you know, some nuggets of knowledge. So look for those guys, and don't ever, ever, ever take dating advice from an average woman. She's not going to have that experience. She only knows what she has to do to date men. So the only thing that she's going to be able to give you is to, you know, be open, be vulnerable. Yeah, because that's something that she would expect from herself. See, women always rely on personal experiences because they've always had to focus on themselves. Men have always had to focus on the community. That's the difference. Women have always been at the mercy of men since our time began, you know, some 300,000 years. And so, like I said, they're not going to have those nuggets of knowledge for you. Every woman's different. So keep that in mind, boys. Don't take advice from average women. Go check out the Happy Wife School. Got a lot of really good information there. Again, because she's done the research and she's done the self-reflection. So go check her out. A lot of really good information. If this video helped you guys out, please like, share, and subscribe. Listen, guys, there are a lot of guys that are looking for information like this. They're looking for potential wives. And listen, again, don't get married here in the West. If you want to get married, go overseas. Okay. Also, the drawback to that too is that, you know, the guys who do go overseas, you may be in a country where you can't take up arms to defend your family. That's the best thing about here in America is that we have a Second Amendment. And should anyone come knocking on our door to harm our families or ourselves, we can put a hole in their chest. And we can see just how big their heart is. Obviously, their heart's not very big if they're trying to rob someone of of their possessions. But anyways, yeah, marriage, no, not here. Not here in the West. Not until the laws change, not until the policies change, not until feminism goes away, not until traditional values gets back to here in America. Like I said, I'm not religious, but I agree with a lot of the I agree with a lot of the traditions. Why? Because it's worked. Because it's worked. It is what works. So until we get back to that, you know, the women being in the homes and the men going out and getting the bread and being able to provide for the family just on his income alone, and be able to live in a very decent life. Until we get back to that, wouldn't recommend marriage at all. Dating, and I would not cohabitate. Absolutely not. I'd be very careful about that. If you live in a state that has common law marriage, I wouldn't cohabitate. Not at all. Because I believe it's what, 3 years? Yeah, I think it's either 3 or 5. I want to say 3 or 5, but I do believe it's 3 years. 3 years, and you guys are considered married at that point. So, yeah, wouldn't do it. Wouldn't do it. Now there are some things that are coming around, like the Uh, I think there was an executive order that Trump signed not too long ago about uh, um, mothers not being able to claim children on taxes if they're receiving child support. That is something that I do know is either being talked about or it's already happening, which is great. I'm not a baby daddy. I don't plan on being a baby daddy. Um, and a rapper. Pretty much one and the same. But I don't plan on being a baby daddy, and I don't have a really whole lot of information for you there. But I do believe it is coming around. So make sure you guys are looking into that. Uh, so again, listen, because I know I went off on a tangent yet again. Listen, if this video helped you guys out, please like, share, and subscribe. And stay up to date with the newest videos that are coming out, because I do this for you guys. I want to help you guys as much as I can, because if I had the information that I have now before I got married, I wouldn't have got married. Obviously, you can see my left hand. There's no wedding band on it anymore. So my divorce wasn't it was amicable, but it wasn't exactly as smooth as what you would really hope for, right? But not gonna be bitter about it. No, I've well moved on, and I wish nothing but the best for her and her family. So, but listen, guys, I want to try and give you the best information that I can. And this is through experience, my own experience. So whatever I can share with you guys to help you guys out, I'm going to do that. That being said, take care of yourselves, right? As I was saying, lifting and getting fit, also work on the mind. Absolutely work on your mind. Okay. If you're going through some hard times, some hard problems, some hard mental problems, go and seek help, right? Like I was talking about mentors, about your friends, get with your buddies, see what they say, right? Because you never know, you never really know all the things that they've been through. You never know really someone, and until years and years and years. So pick their brains, right? There's always something you can learn. You just have to take that opportunity. Be an opportunist. Take care of each other too. If someone's having a rough day at work, if someone's having a rough day at the park, if someone's having a rough day online, it doesn't matter. Listen, guys, lift them up. Give them the most accurate, the best information that you can, and send them in the right direction. Like I was sending you guys to the Happy Wife School. I think that's a great direction for a lot of men to go and take, and something to learn from. Because listen, a lot of us need to understand how most women, especially modern women, like to bait and switch. Um, it is something biological too, right? And that's something that a lot of women need to understand about themselves. So for my ladies watching, go watch the Happy Wife School. Okay, if you're looking for a man, if you've had a man for a while and you're looking at marriage, again, look, wouldn't recommend marriage, but there's a lot of really good information there. So, then look, if they don't want the information, cool. Don't be salty about it, man. Don't be salty about it. Just go on with your day. You gave them the opportunity to become the best version of themselves. And if they don't want to take it, it's on them. You did your part. So, and it takes one person at a time to change a culture. Where one person changes, they can change 2 or 3. And that's what I want to do, guys. I want to change the culture. And I know you do too. So help me change the culture, guys. Let's turn this into something great. Let's get back to what worked. All right. That being said, guys, thanks for tuning in. Talk to you guys soon.